Hey, I want to welcome you back into the campus of Winnebago Lutheran Academy. Jordan King taking you through tonight's varsity action between the Omro Foxes and the Winnebago Lutheran Academy Vikings. The Vikes come into tonight riding a 5-game winning streak. Last time we talked, it was a 3-game winning streak. Since then, the Vikings have dispatched of Lemira and North Fond du Lac. Last time out, Ethan Cole scored 39 points. He's back over the 25-point mark on an average per game basis at 25.1. That ranks 17th, check that, 17th in the state. He's also 7th in the state in rebounding. Aiden Barr, the point guard for the Vikes, is 11th in the state in assists per game. All of that adds up to a pretty good varsity squad, and the Vikings in this 5-game winning streak have gotten themselves back over 500, 4-3 in the Flyway Conference. Tonight, they try to avenge one of those 3 losses. It's one of the 3 wins for the Omro Foxes. Omro coming into this game on a 1-game losing streak. They lost on Saturday to St. Mary's Springs. Before that, they also defeated North Fond du Lac. Omro and Springs are the 2 teams in the Flyway that have played 8 games. The rest have played 7. So this marks the official start of the second half of the Flyway Conference season for the Vikes. And if they continue to play the way they're playing, or were playing, at the back end of this first half of the Flyway cycle, the Vikes are going to contend for a conference championship. And it certainly looks like they have the player of the year in the Flyway on their team with Ethan Cole. Talk more about Cole, talk more about Aiden Barr and the rest of the Vikings as they take on the Foxes, starters, and Anthem coming up in just a couple of minutes. Hope you'll stay with us on WLA TV.
Winnebago Lutheran Academy welcomes you to this evening's Flyway Conference basketball game between the Omro Foxes and the Vikings of Winnebago Lutheran Academy. Winnebago Lutheran Academy and Omro High School and the WIAA require good sportsmanship and education-based sporting events. Attendance at interscholastic activities is a privilege with the expectation to exhibit positive and respectful behavior. For the enjoyment and respect of all in attendance, your cooperation in demonstrating the high ideals of sportsmanship is expected and greatly appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please stand, remove your hats, and join us in honoring America and those who protect it with the playing of our national anthem. The WIAA objects to activities, materials, logos, apparels, mascots, or gestures that are profane, vulgar, insulting, or offensive to others. Membership disapproves of any form of taunting or expression that is intended or designed to embarrass, ridicule, disrespect, or demean others under any circumstances, including on the basis of race, religion, gender, or national origin. It's time to meet the starting lineups for this evening's game. First, for the Foxes. A 5'10" sophomore, number 1, Ryan Shaney. A 6' senior, number 2, Matthew Willing. A 5'11" junior, number 20, Caleb Yakum. A 6' junior, number 34, Cole Hinkie. And a 6'1" junior, number 40, Isaiah Eubanks. Foxes are coached by Stephen Egan.
Once again, want to welcome you into the campus of Winnebago Lutheran Academy. Jordan King taking you through the action between the Foxes and the Vikings, and you're watching it on WLA TV. We'll get to the starters for the Vikings in just a second, but just a reminder of the starters for the Foxes. Gone are the days of Cade Statura, one of the best players in the conference just a year ago, certainly one of the most potent scorers you will find playing high school basketball last season in Cade Statura. But the Omro Foxes still a very good offensive team, averaging 62.8 points per game, and it's much more balanced this year for Omro. Their starters, number 1, Ryan Shaney, 2, Matthew Rilling, 20, Caleb Yakum, 34, Cole Henke, and 40, Isaiah Eubanks for the Foxes. The leading scorer, incidentally, for the Foxes, number 10, Brandon Langeberg. He averages 13 points per game, not in the starting lineup. For the Vikings, it remains unchanged. They do get Aiden Barr back. Barr out with illness for their last couple of games. COVID-related, I do believe. And that's why you see the mask on for Aiden Barr as well. It's the only reason I say that. I have no idea. But you have the mask, which kind of tells you the story for that one. It's tipped up for the Vikings. We'll tell you about the rest of the starters as it becomes available. The opportunity, and Lucas Weigand is the other senior out there, along with Ethan Cole and Aiden Barr. 2 sophomores, that being Noah Gensler and Sam Lair. Quickly, Cole goes down the paint, misses his first shot. Offensive rebound collected by Weigand, and it stays with the Vikings in their home whites. Here's Aiden Barr. Good to see him back out on the floor for the Vikes. Crossing over is Sam Lair. Blair using the left-hand dribble, now on the left wing, top of the key between the circles, out near half court goes Ethan Cole. Popped away from him. That was a nice help defensive play by Caleb Yakum into the front court. This is Shaney. Shaney looks to the corner. Corner three on the way. This one misses by Rilling. Offensive rebound once again, Yakum. Skip pass through to Rilling, and Rilling will reset. Top of the key, go out to Henke. Henke on the drive. Nice defense there by Lucas Weigand. And it ends up with Yakum. Yakum drives on Ethan Cole. Euro step misses. Nice board by Cole. We talked about him being top 10 in the state in rebounding. Cole goes down the paint, and a nice save there by Noah Gensler to keep it from turning over. Slow down here. Aiden Barr crosses Eubanks over, gets it to the corner. Three on the way. This one misses. Deep for Noah Gensler. Gensler a little bit better on the three-point shooting as of late. The last two games have gotten his average back up over 30. It had momentarily dropped below the 30-point mark after being closer to 40 earlier on in the season. This is Yakum far side. Looks to Rilling now underneath, and that's swatted away from Henke. Another good defensive play by Lucas Weigand. Here's Barr in transition, bounces down to Sam Lair. Lair dribbles out past the three-point line, where he's so dangerous, shoots it at a 36.7% clip. Posting up is Lucas Weigand, gets it back to Barr. Barr looks for his shot, backdoor cut, Ethan Cole. Cole guarded by Yakum. Nice defense by the sophomore there, and that one misses. Yakum, a junior, check that. And here is Shaney. Shaney back to Rilling. Over to Yakum. Yakum looks to Eubanks. Eubanks, a terrific shooter. Saw him hit several triples. He was coming into the game last year here. This same matchup as Henke's going to key up a three, and he hits it. Henke hits the triple, and then I didn't hear what the call was underneath. They're going to count it and then give the ball to Omro and a rebounding foul. A little bit unusual, but you see that every so often. So 3-0, quick start. Going back, we'll talk a little bit about that game last year. Cade Stachura was dominant last year in that game, was very, very good, as he was in most games last season. But the difference ended up being Isaiah Eubanks and his ability to shoot the three ball. First three hit by Henke this time, and another bank three, bank open this evening. Ryan Shaney, a couple of shots that won't go down in any museums in terms of how pretty they looked, but both of them banked home. 6-0 lead for Omro. Down the lane goes Barr, and the lid stays on for the Vikings. Vikes average 72.1 points per game, but so far in the first 3 minutes here have been shut out. Not for a lack of good opportunities, though. The Vikes have gotten good looks. Here's a three by Yakum. That one looked better, but doesn't go down. That's how basketball works, right? The ugly ones sometimes drop, and the pretty ones, well, go a-begging. Here's Shaney. Shot fake by him. Hands off to Yakum. Ends up with Rilling here on the left wing. Down to the corner with Henke. He's guarded once again by Lucas Weigand. Going to take Weigand off the dribble. Contact there, and the foul is on the floor, so they won't count that basket. Quickly waved off. And with 14:38 to play, the Vikings weathering an early storm here from the Foxes. Coach Egan's done a nice job with this program. Certainly has helped the last couple of years to have a player like Cade Stachura. That misses for Rilling. And a good rebound there, strong rebound from Ethan Cole. Cole crosses over, down the left side of the paint, can't get it to go. That's tipped out, and it's going to go back to the Foxes as Lucas Weigand poked it through a couple of Foxes' hands. Still a Stachura if you're an Omro Foxes fan. Ava Stachura, part of the up-and-coming Omro Foxes program under Coach Geisthard on the girls' side. Here's a three from Shaney. This one looks good, but it's just off to the left. Sam Lair puts it on the floor and turns it over. Henke taps it away from him, collected by Rilling. He's on that far right wing. Kind of opened up for him, and Henke, that's a sweet move by Cole Henke, who's got 5 of the 7 for the Foxes. Kind of swooped through and almost Dr. J-like swung that around and laid it in. That was a pretty move on the reverse layup. Here goes Aiden Barr down the paint, and he's hacked. He'll head to the free throw line. And the first opportunity from the line. First foul for the Foxes, and they'll get Henke on that one. Barr's first free throw is a little bit short, and just wonder coming off of a few games not being there, how that might affect the shooting. He is the second best, well, I guess third best free throw shooter now that Noah Walta's getting more minutes. Walta shoots it at an 80% clip. That leads the team, but it's just 4 for 5. Gensler's really the best free throw shooter on the team. Shoots it at a 75% clip, but he's got about 20, he's got almost 30 attempts. Here's a triple. This is short, and a good rebound once again down to Cole. Cole looks up ahead to Barr. Barr, bounce pass, no look to Sam Lair. Thought Lair drug the pivot foot, but he can't make the layup nonetheless. Rebound down. Shaney into the front court. Kicks it back. Eubanks, trailer 3. This one comes up short as well. Weigand has it poked out of his hand on the rebound, and Shaney thought he finished at the rim. That's tipped out once again. You know what? Rilling somehow kept it. Check that. That's Henke somehow kept it in. He's going to try to fire up a 3. He hit it. Cole Henke. That's a huge couple of plays by him. Diving into the cheerleaders, saving it, and then hitting the triple. He's got 8 points of the 11 that's been scored for Omro. It's the Cole Henke show thus far, and it's a 10-point lead for Omro. Forces an early Coach Nell timeout. 10-point lead for the Foxes. And can the Vikings get it sorted out here? Again, just trying to weather the early storm. It's been I don't know the career records or anything like that, but over the past couple of years, and certainly earlier this year, the Vikings have struggled against the Foxes. Now, that was part of a 3-game skid for the Vikings that they just really did not play their best basketball, could not find a shot tonight. Looks like the same type of situation, but they lost to Kewaskum in an ugly game, did not play well in that one. They lost at Springs. Here's Ethan Cole on the left side. Goes up with the right hand, can't get it to go. Rebound down to Omro. Here's Yakum. Apologies for the blocking of the scoreboard. That's intentional by some students. We're going to try to get that situated here and put an end to that. So make sure that you can see the score. .12:32 to go here in the first half. And Aiden Barr's into the front court for the Vikings. Down to Ethan Cole. Cole gets to his spot. He's fouled. Ooh, they're going to get Cole on a hooking foul. They're going to say used his arm to gain leverage on the defender. Well, you can call that a lot in high school basketball. Just be consistent with it. We'll see if they are tonight. Here into the game is Brett Niedermeyer. And Niedermeyer almost turns it over, gets it here to number 15. That's Mason Koth into the game for the first time, and he traveled. Drug the pivot foot, and it'll head back to the Vikings. Aiden Meidel into the game as well. Brandon Langeberg got a 5-out substitution. Number 5 is the other. That's Peyton Schmidt. So Coach Egan testing my prowess to read a roster here. He goes 10 deep early in this one. Cole goes down the paint, and they're going to say he was fouled. It couldn't be on Koth because he came in and blocked it very cleanly. Instead, they're going to say Niedermeyer on the, they're going to say clutched him on the way down the lane. Third team foul, first for Niedermeyer. First free throw for Ethan Cole is good. Vikings points solely tonight coming from the free throw line. Cole shoots it at a 66 point. He makes exactly 2 out of every 3 free throws on the season. So stick around to watch him miss the next one. I'm just kidding. I think he's a little bit better than 2 out of every 3. If you watch him play basketball, I would. That 66.7 really did surprise me when I read it on Wiz Sports preparing for tonight's game. I thought it was a little bit better of a 3-point shooter. Shuffling the feet there and turning it over was Langeberg, who is, once again, as I mentioned earlier, the leading scorer for the Foxes, but that time shuffled the pivot feet as he was trying to square up. Here's Noah Gensler. Gensler has only the one three-point opportunity. Sam Lair has not yet taken a three for the Vikings. Down the lane goes Aiden Barr, and he finishes. That's what Aiden Barr does so well for the Vikings. He gets to the rim. Save for Ethan Cole, the best player on the team. He may be as good or better than Ethan at getting to the rim. Now, Ethan's a little bit better finisher with both hands, but Aiden just has that way of getting into the paint. Here's a three. That misses. That was once again Koth on the triple. Missed that one. 5-11. Vikes on a 4-0 run. Here's Barr. Bounces down to Sam Lair. Lair with the retreat dribble. Between the legs, almost poked away. That's good defense by Peyton Schmidt. Ends up with Barr. Barr top of the key, kicks it to Gensler in the corner. Gensler down the paint. He gets bumped. Oh, just about fell for the and one. But Gensler will go for a pair. Good aggression from the Vikings here in the last couple of minutes to try to get to the free throw line when the jumpers aren't falling. And this will be their third trip. Gensler, a 75% free throw shooter. I think it was 21 of 28, I believe, is what Gensler shoots from the line. Misses the first. You can blame me on that. Hyping him up. Second free throw is good, though, for Noah Gensler. You don't expect him to miss many of those. 11-6. Here is Meidel, not Koth, Meidel. And a foul underneath. Good box by Sam Lair. And Gerke onto the floor for the Foxes. He's the 11th Fox on the floor. And that's quickly the 5th team foul. We haven't even gotten 8 minutes into this one. And a lot of physicality both ways. Down the lane goes Barr behind the back dribble. Bounces down to Gensler. Gensler looks for Lair. Top of the key, shot fake. Down the lane he goes. Floats in the middle of the paint. Can't get it to go. I think I've said this before, but Sam Lair actually shoots the 2 at a worse percentage than he shoots the 3. And a lot of that has to do with his size. Down the lane and finishing. That's a nice drive by Ryan Gerke, and he's on the board for his first 2 points. 7-point lead restored for the Foxes. Here's Barr. Once again, crosses over twice down the lane. Nice defense. That was Meidel again, who defended well at the rim to just alter the shot and not foul. Here he is on the offensive side. Kicks it out, top of the key, that's Koth. Near side, that's Langeberg. He's going to fire up a 3. This one misses. Good rebound, Aiden Barr, and he's fouled. Meidel picks that one up. 6th team foul. Meidel. Kind of looked a little flabbergasted that he picked up the foul. Might have been a little ticky-tack here early in the game. Here is Aiden Barr once again. Jab steps, nice pass underneath, and there is Lucas Weigand. All Lucas Weigand does is get buckets for this team, 62.5%. A lot of high percentage shots for him, but you got to make them. Here's Meidel. Goes off about 3 screens. They're trying to pop Koth to the top of the key. Nice job defensively by the Vikings. This is Langeberg on the left wing. Koth. Couple of Vikings miscommunicate. Koth misses that one short. Good rebound by Langeberg. But now Ethan Cole's going to fight for it and steal it away. It's tied up. Well, that's about a B-team jump ball right there. You got to let a couple of high school athletes figure that one out. But a quick whistle, and it'll go back to Omro. That'll switch the arrow to the Vikings on the next tie-up as we see the first action of the night for Jacob Tyson. Also having to wear the face mask for the Vikings. Thought we were done with those, but alas, not quite. It's all right. Here's Gerke. At least we're playing high school sports. We got the band here. I wish we could play that and not get ripped down from YouTube, because that tells you that high school sports is back when you got the cheerleaders and the band and the students back, even if they are trying to block your camera feed. Yeah, that's all right. Langeberg off of a couple of screens down the paint. That's a nice feed underneath and a good finish by Peyton Schmitz. Langeberg drove the lane and kind of spun a pass around the back of Aiden Barr, and a good finish by Schmitz. His first 2 points, and it's back to a 7-point lead. Here's Sam Lair's first triple, left wing, short. And a good rebound by Meidel. Meidel crosses into the front court, across the logo, looks to the corner. There, ooh, that's a nice fake pass, and underneath Meidel finishes. Aiden Meidel and Aiden Barr going back and forth with the handles. A couple of slick point guards in this one. Here's Ethan Cole. He has yet to get going. He's just got 2 free throws to speak of so far. This one, he was hammered underneath, no foul, and Coach Nell's going to let him know about it. That one misses. Good rebound by Aiden Barr. Barr, reverse dribble. Now he's going to push it. He gets ahead of Meidel. Oh, that's a good pass down to Sam Lair. Lair didn't see it coming. Almost lost control. Down the paint goes Cole. He's hammered again. No foul. A lot of physicality underneath. And the hockey substitution. Shift 1 back in for Coach Egan. 9-point lead for the Foxes. And the Vikings trying to get something going offensively. My stat coming into this one was hold Omro under 70 points. But right now it's the defense that's holding them in, and there's Ethan Cole with the triple. Oh, and a breakdown defensively. Oh, no, that's not Sam Lair. That's Jacob Tyson swatting one. That'll get the fans going for the Vikings. Cole hit the 3, and on the other end it was a defensive breakdown. The hockey line substitution, the 5-in, 5-out, caught the Vikings not matching up. Defending here, it's Henke who goes down to Eubanks, and Eubanks traveled. Chop Simmons into the game for the Vikings. He was playing defense there. And we'll see if that triple that just rattled home for Ethan Cole gets him going. He's got 5. Here goes Barr down the paint. Kicks it back out to Ethan. Ethan's going to trigger another 3. This one, oh, it was off, but he banked it in. If Ethan Cole's going to bank him in, it's just not fair. You got to give up. You might as well give up. He hits back-to-back 3s, and the Vikes are back within 3 points. 17-14. Down the lane goes Shaney to the corner. Henke, 3 on the way. This one misses off to the right. Tipped up and collected by Rilling. Here's Eubanks. Guarded by Barr. Down to the corner. On the drive, that was Yakum who gets it back to Shaney. Gives it to Eubanks, who lost his footing. Falls down. Chop Simmons completes the steal. Here's Ethan Cole. Bounce pass underneath to Tyson. Jacob Tyson finishes for the Vikings. Thought he might have taken an extra step there, but no whistle forthcoming. Vikes on a run here. They have cut this down to 1. It's an 8-0 run. Here's Henke on the far side working on Chop Simmons. Down the lane he goes. Picked off by Aiden Barr. Barr's into the front court working on Eubanks. Down the lane he goes. Up with the left hand. That spins around. Does not go. Offensive rebound. Ethan Cole goes up with the right hand. Ethan Cole, first lead of the night for the Vikings. And Ethan Cole's into double figures. He's got 10. Vikes have 18. It's a 10-0 run, and it forces a Coach Egan timeout for the Foxes. Just 30 seconds. We'll keep it right here. But that is the response that the Vikings offense seemed like a sleeping giant, and there's confirmation of that. Couple of Ethan Cole triples, one with a little help from the backboard, although if you're a Foxes fan, you really can't complain too much. That's the third banked 3 we've seen. There's a lot of really great shooters out there. We've seen some not so pretty three-pointers go down so far tonight, but hey, good shooters will take them any way they come, right? Doesn't matter. They don't all have to look the same way. So coming out of this timeout, Coach Egan trying to, if nothing else, stymie some of this momentum that the Vikings have. Here's Yakum. Kicks it far side. That's Henke. Henke's the leading scorer so far for the Foxes. He's got 8. Nice job by Chop Simmons to front him in the post. Henke's looking for his shot here early. That one's thrown past Eubanks, collected by Yakum. Ends up with Rilling. Rilling thinking about the 3, now gets it down to Eubanks. Eubanks the second leading scorer for the Foxes. Top of the key, Yakum. Yakum drives, kicks it to Rilling. Rilling spins, hands to Shaney. 3 on the way. This one is deep. Strong rebound by Ethan Cole. And you probably forget Ethan Cole's a linebacker until you go try to rebound against him, I would imagine. Underneath, here is Noah Gensler on the kick out. A scrum that is won by the Foxes when Rilling, Shaney into the front court, hands to Rilling. Rilling thinks about the three. Now he's going to drive on Cole. Nice defense by Ethan Cole. And Gensler's into a passing lane. Gensler down the right side of the floor and finishes. That's a strong take from Noah Gensler. Talking to someone today, talking about Noah Gensler's game and how it's really transformed. And he last year just seemed kind of passive, as freshmen may do on a varsity team. This year he's been much more assertive and certainly been one of the stalwarts in this Vikings starting lineup. Here's a three from Rilling. Hit it. That's a way you quiet down the opposing student section. Rilling hit the triple. That's the fourth three tonight for Omro. They are living by the three a little bit here early on. Down the lane goes Aiden Barr. He won't finish, but he'll head to the free throw line. See which one of Eubanks or Henke that they tag this one on. And I believe yeah, they're going to get Henke. I think that's two. Ooh, third on Henke. That is something worth. I don't know if Coach Egan just necessarily saw that went on Henke. I thought it might be on Eubanks, but Henke just picked up his third, and now he realizes it as Gerke is off the bench and will check in at the next dead ball. Both free throws made by Aiden Barr. He's 3 for 4 from the line, and the Vikings as a team shooting well from the line here early. Down the lane goes Yakum. Yakum up against Simmons. Chop Simmons went straight up and down. That's great defense and a good rebound by Aiden Barr. Tipped around by the Vikings before Barr collected it. Here goes Aiden Barr. Down the lane, spins. Who almost carried that. Good job not to put it back on the floor. Here's Ethan Cole, right wing. Crosses. Working on Yakum. Behind the back dribble. Bounce pass down to a cutting Noah Gensler, and Noah Gensler finishes. When Gensler is aggressive, he's tough to stop. Don't settle for those threes. Take it to the hoop, and Noah Gensler is a terrific player when he does that. Vikings remain on a 16-3 run currently and have a 4-point lead. Rilling in the corner, hands off. Yakum triple, hit it. Yakum with his first three of the night and the fifth three for the Foxes. Vikings would like to get the ball in, and they do. Little miscommunication. Three-pointers keeping Omro in the game. Built a nice lead for them. Since then, the Vikes have caught some fire. And they're going to get a push there on Shaney. And that will send Gensler. Yeah, I was going to say that was an off-the-ball foul. So it's Gensler that's going to go to the free throw line. I won't say anything about how Gensler is shooting the free throw this year. Right? Yeah, you don't want me to say anything that might cause him to not put this one through if you're a Vikings fan. 1-1. You know how I feel about the 1-1. First one for Gensler is short and leaving points out there, leaving opportunities at points. And to a certain extent, I think the 1-1 is a good chance to build momentum if you're on the opponent team. Here's Yakum, drives the lane, kicks it to the corner. Shaney's there. And they're going to get Jacob Tyson on a foul there. Got mixed up there with Shaney, and Shaney hit the deck. And the whistle was blown. 2:45 to go here in the first half. Lobbed in here to Gerke. Gerke hands off to Eubanks. Long two. That one misses. Cole with another rebound as he's nearing the 14 rebound mark per game on the year. That's just an incredible statistic. You don't see that one often in high school sports. Nice rebound on the far side this time. Gerke on the missed triple for the Vikings. Shaney will key one up. This one misses. Well, Yakum went down very easily there. And they're going to punch an offensive foul. Eubanks comes down the lane. Waiting there was Sam Lair. Now, I say it when it happens against the Vikings. I'll say it when it happens to the Vikings. That's a dangerous way to play defense. I really don't like that the restricted circle doesn't exist in high school sports. It's a dangerous play, and it should be outlawed. Here is Aiden Barr, but I don't think anyone from the WIAA is listening to WLA TV, so there you go. Down the lane goes Gensler. There's Jacob Tyson, kicks it out to Ethan Cole. Triple on the way. This one's short, well short. But it's saved by Jacob Tyson. Goes straight to Hughbanks. Up ahead to Yakum. Yakum on the left side, right side, check that. Back to Hughbanks. Hughbanks skip pass to the near side. This is Meidel. Meidel's been good in the first half. It's poked away. Well, they better not get Jacob Tyson on this one. And they're going to say Sam Lair. I'm okay with that. Lair bumped him a little bit. I thought they were going to get Tyson on the reach in there, which Tyson grabbed the ball, but there was a bump from Sam Lair. Noah Walta into the game. He's given some big minutes to the Vikings. This is the first time we've seen him. I was really hoping to see more of Noah Walta. When Aiden Barr was out, Walta was a huge, huge part of the Vikings' offensive success and defensive success. It should be in the corner. That's where it'll be thrown in, and it'll be Hughbanks, be the trigger man for the Foxes. He'll get it in and throw it to Yakum. Yakum bounces down to Shaney. Shaney on that right wing. Kicks it back to Yakum between the circles. Buck and a half left here in the first half. They're going to get a moving screen. They will. Moving screen on Gerke. Player control foul, so they won't shoot the bonus. Noah Walta comes in and forces some contact. Ball's going the other way for the Vikings. Here's Aiden Barr. That was the 9th team foul, though, for Omro. Gensler in the corner, looks to the high post where Ethan Cole is at work. Cole gets down the paint, up with the right hand, and he finishes. Ethan Cole's got a dozen. 12 of the 26 for the Vikings, 1 minute to play. Into the front court. Once again, Shaney on the far side. Looks top of the key. Now he's going to drive the paint. Tipped away. Jacob Tyson's got 3 deflections in the past 4 possessions for the Vikings. No steals, but keeping his hands active in the passing lane. Caleb Yakum in the backcourt will collect. 45 seconds left. We'll see how Coach Egan and the Foxes want to play this one. If they're patient and just try to get one shot, get back into this. And that's tipped away. Jacob Tyson, some contact. He throws it up ahead while laying on his back to Ethan Cole, and Cole finishes. Cole finishes with the right hand, a little finger roll. Sweet play by Jacob Tyson. Effort's never a problem with him. No-look pass from Hughbanks into the corner. That one misses. Offensive rebound, Meidel gets it back to Hughbanks. Left wing 3 on the way, that misses. Kicked around. I thought they might get a kick there. Aiden Barr ends up with it. Nice pass from Noah Walta up ahead to Noah Gensler. Gensler's got 7, and the Vikings have a 7-point lead. Meidel will throw it up from half court. No good. And the Vikings end the half on an 22-5 run. 22-5 run for the Vikings after being down 17-8. The Vikes lead at 30-23, and now you're all making fun of me for my math, because that's not 22-5, that's 22-6. But nonetheless, the Vikings feel really good about how they head into the halftime locker room. Get some stats and figures for you here at halftime. Put 10 minutes on the clock and send you to the halftime intermission. Back with more. This is WLA Basketball on WLA TV. Stay with us. Welcome back in here to the campus of WLA. Jordan King with you at WLA TV. Vikings and the Foxes, 30-23. Vikings end the first half on a 22-6 scoring run. Trailed at one point 17-8 and now lead at 30-23. I don't know if Coach Schroffnagel or Coach Supernand, I think Coach Supernand's watching. I hope they covered their eyes there. Varsity player Peyton Chemnitz did not make a free throw during the halftime sharpshooting. So if I pop into the girls' practice tomorrow and all I see is them shooting free throws, I know why. Get some scores from around the Flyway from Coach Supernand. Speaking of him, appreciate his insight. Couple of scores. Springs 19, Laconia 11. These are all games that are still playing in the first half, and Coach Supernand did see that, so girls might be in trouble tomorrow. They're shooting free throws for two hours. We'll see. Girls back in action on Thursday. They host Lemira. We'll have that on WLA TV. Then have a really tough game on Friday with Kewaskum in the building. Kewaskum ranked number 8 in Division III, and a very, very good team coming back in here to the campus of WLA. Springs 19, Laconia 11. Campbell Sport 28-13 lead over Lemira. Mayville 23-12 lead over North Fondy. So those are the 4 teams ahead of the Vikings. Now the Vikings record-wise are tied with Laconia. They do have the tiebreaker, although that means nothing right now till you go through the double round robin in the conference. And the Vikings got to travel to Laconia, which I'm sure we all know is a difficult place to go play basketball. Springs 6-2, Mayville 5-2, Campbellsport 5-2, Laconia and WLA both 4-3. Omro here 3-5. 2-5 is Lemira and 0-7 North Fond du Lac. And as I mentioned, Springs leading Laconia, Campbellsport leading Lemira, Mayville leading North Fondy. Those games still working on the first half. Get you some numbers here at halftime for the Foxes. First of all, they hit 5 3-pointers. So a little bit of a reliance on the deep ball so far, and they can catch fire. Isaiah Hughbanks really has not caught fire yet, hasn't scored a point through the first half. Average is 12.9 and can really light it up from deep. So the Vikes doing a nice job so far, but got to continue that in the second half. Leading scorer for the Foxes is Cole Henke. He had 8 points in the first half. Ryan Gerke had 2. Caleb Yakum had 3. Aiden Meidel and Peyton Schmitz both had 2, and then Matthew Rilling and Ryan Shaney, the starting backcourt for the Foxes, each hit 3s there in that first half. Add that up, you get to the 23 that the Foxes scored in the first frame. For the Vikings, Jacob Tyson had a couple of points, as did Lucas Wagen. I'll tell you what, Jacob Tyson is a monster on the defensive side of the floor. Just he's like the Energizer Bunny. You put in a couple of Energizer AA batteries, and the kid just goes and goes and goes, and he doesn't know how to stop, which is a good thing. But he got 2 points there in that first half. Aiden Barr, good to see him back out on the floor. His handles are something else to watch. He had 5 in the first half. Noah Gensler had 7. Ethan Cole dropped 14 in the first half, well on his way to surpassing his season average, which is 25.1 points per game. And I know he had more than 6 rebounds in that first half, because I can think of 6 times when he just knocked a couple of guys around to get a rebound underneath. So the Vikings lead it here 30-23. That was a vivacious first half. And we're looking forward to more of that coming up here in the second frame. We'll get back at it in about 3.5 minutes. Hope you'll join us right here on WLA TV. just about ready to roll here in the second half of action, 30-23. Vikings closing the first half on a 22-6 run to build a 7-point halftime lead. And the Vikes will start with it here in the second half. And the home whites, Omro in those reddish, almost, I mean, you look at them, if you look at them real quick, if the color's not quite right on the camera, they almost look brownish, but got that burgundy red with the gold lettering on it and the white trim. Down the lane goes Aiden Barr. That's a nice play by Eubanks. He pokes it away. Steal completed by Shaney. Up ahead to Eubanks. Nice defense by Ethan Cole just to affect the shot. And Eubanks can't get it to go. Still scoreless for the Foxes. Vikings able to shut out Jaden Billings just last week, Thursday. Here's a long three on the way from Cole. Missed it. And a good rebound. That's number 15, Mason Koth, who's onto the floor for the Foxes. Eubank gets it back to Koth. Koth into the middle of the paint. Good cut by Shaney, but Koth had already passed it out top of the key. That's a good cut and a good screen underneath, and can't finish again. That, once again, is Yakum. Yakum couldn't finish. Another rebound to Ethan Cole. Up ahead to Barr. Barr between the circles. Uses a Cole screen. Down the lane he goes. Oh, tried to shovel it up. I think Aiden probably should have just went up with that. Tried to shovel one to that was Lucas Wygant, who's back in transition. That's three great transition defensive plays by Ethan Cole to just keep his hands straight up, not foul. And then a good job by Lucas Wygant to run the floor on the way back and get the board. Here's Gensler underneath, kicks it out to Sam Lair. Lair tries to take Eubanks off the dribble, gets it to Gensler. Gensler to the middle of the paint, up with the left hand, can't get it to go. Tipped around by Lucas Wygant. He's got the offensive board. Out to Aiden Barr. That one just a little bit strong. Another offensive rebound. Down the lane goes Barr, and he was fouled. Nice play by Lucas Wygant, hammering the offensive glass and earning a trip to the free throw line here for Barr to build on this scoring run that is now going to span two halves if Barr hits any of these free throws. First free throw up and good for Aiden. He's hit his last four of 5 after missing his first on the evening. Every lead from here on out will be the Vikings' largest lead of the night. And that one goes down as well. So 5 for 6 from the line, 5 for 6 from the line for Aiden Barr. And it's a 9-point lead for the Vikings. Barr's up to 7 points. And can the Foxes stop the bleeding? Here's Langeberg, top of the key, Yakum. Yakum continues to be guarded by Sam Lair. Here's Koth. Back to Yakum. Fights through the screen. And Eubanks cuts through. Good defense by Lucas Wygant affecting the shot. Rebound down to Ethan Cole. Cole into the front court. Cole, like a train down the lane, can't get it to go. Good defense by Eubanks to go straight up and down. Koth fights for the rebound with Ethan Cole. Cole almost fouled him. Here's Shaney up ahead. Langeberg scoops up twice, gets his own offensive rebound, and finishes. Nice play by Brandon Langeberg with his first 2 points. And didn't see what the stoppage was for there, but we're back going. Still a 7-point lead for the Vikes. Here's Aiden Barr. Barr gonna shoot the jumper, and he hit it. It's a long 2 for Aiden Barr. Yakum, I think, just lost his balance and was on his rear end when Barr put that shot up. Oh, that's a good lob, Langeberg. Oh, and Langeberg didn't go up with it. Despite perhaps having the position to do so, tried to kick it out. It was stolen by Sam Lair. Here's Aiden Barr. Barr crosses, uses a Wygant screen, gets to his spot, middle of the paint, kicks it out, top of the key, 3 on the way. This one misses. Offensive rebound, Gensler, kicks it back to Barr. Right wing 3, hit it. Aiden Barr's first 3 of the night. And he's into double figures. Aiden Barr has 12 for the Vikings, and the lead is 12 for WLA. Here near side, Langeberg. Skip pass over to Yakum. Yakum skips it back to Langeberg, trying to respond with a 3 of his own, and he does so. Brandon Langeberg has 5, all coming here in the second half. A personal 5-0 run for the Foxes, meaning he scored the last 5 points. The Foxes are not on a 5-0 run. That was not a properly phrased sentence there. Sam Lair misses. Rebound down to Koth, and Eubanks into the front court. Coach Egan will take a timeout. 37-28, 9-point lead for the Vikings. Trying to keep the distance here between themselves and the Omro Foxes, as they are in the Flyway Conference standings as well. The Vikings 4-3, and Omro 3-5. Omro has really had a tough start to the second half of the Flyway season. To talk about the double round robin, which I love. You got to beat a team twice. I think that tells you who a true champion is in a conference. I know some are too big that you can't. It doesn't work out to schedule that way, but I love it in the Flyway that you got the true double round robin. I think it leads to a true champion. You know who the best team is by the end of the season, especially here in the Flyway on the boys' side of things. It looks pretty clear cut right now on the girls' side. WLA and Springs definitely good enough to beat Laconia, but through the first half they look the class of the conference. But you got to beat a team twice. And Omro's had to play Springs and WLA on this back half of the conference, both of them playing their best basketball right now in this season. Springs and WLA kind of both sputtered earlier on in the season, but both have righted the ship and are playing good basketball. Win tonight will be the Vikings' 6th straight. Down the lane goes Yakum, and before the travel, they'll say Sam Lair bumped him, so they'll get the blocking foul. It's certainly on the floor. I don't know why they were lining up like it was free throws there. That's pretty clearly on the floor. Third foul on Sam Lair. A lot of contact. Had to blow the whistle. The question was, did the travel occur before or after? WLA fans thought it was maybe before. I think that was a good call. Here's Eubanks off of a couple of screens, trying to get himself going. Down the lane, goes up against Cole. Cole, good defense and gets the rebound. Ethan Cole, head of steam, down the left side, and that's on the floor as well. And the Vikings will inbound it underneath after Cole drove the left side of the paint. Right side, check that. Langenberg, just his first. Not much foul trouble to speak of for him. Barr tries to key it in, looks for Cole Wiedemeyer, and Wiedemeyer thought it was going to go out of bounds. That's a play that he probably would like back. Ryan Shaney scores. Cole Wiedemeyer thought it was going to go out of bounds. Instead, it stayed in, and it was an easy bucket for Shaney. They're going to get Koth on a reach around here. That was a little ticky-tack. Second for Koth. Barr will throw it in again. Nice bounce pass to Ethan Cole, who double clutches, and will go to the free throw line. Who are they going to get on this one? Is it Langenberg? Yeah, Langenberg with his second in about 15 seconds. And Ethan Cole will go to the free throw line for the second time tonight. He's 2 for 2. That free throw's good. Second free throw for Ethan Cole, good as well. You could hear a pin drop in here. Cole's 4 for 4 from the charity stripe tonight. Those are his first points of the second half. He's up to 16, and the Vikes lead back to 9. Fighting through the screens was Wiedemeyer there, underneath to Shaney. Nice bounce pass through. Langenberg's going to head to the free throw line, and one. He finishes, and Langenberg's up to 7 points. Just like that early on here in the second half. He's the leading scorer. Did not start the first half, but did start here in the second half and has proven to be a difference maker. Brett Niedermeyer into the game as well, as Shaney will get a break and chance to cut the Viking lead to 6 here if the free throw goes. It does not, and a good rebound down to Lucas Weigand. Here's Cole. Down the paint, up with the right hand. Finger roll, and Ethan Cole's got 18. That is such a sweet move. You either got to be there, know that it's coming, and take the charge, which is not going to be a pleasant feeling, I'm sure. Or you just got to let him score, because he's going to finish through contact. And on the floor, Niedermeyer down the lane, and he was fouled. Thought that might have been on the shot, but instead Niedermeyer will I'll say the bump was on the floor. So Eubanks underneath will key it in for the Foxes. Tell you what, it's really impressive defensive display for the Vikings. Eubanks is a talented player. Going back to the display we saw of that last season, you know, it's really good defensive play. Here's Yakum down the paint, and he finishes. That's a nice take on the left side from Caleb Yakum, up with the right hand on the left-hand side, and finishes at the rim. Barr crosses over. Down the paint he goes. His turn. Bounces to Wiedmeyer, who's going to try the drive. Now kick it here near side, Gensler, who's going to screen for Ethan Cole. They're going to switch it. Cole likes the matchup. Drives, stops, pops, hits. 20 points for Ethan Cole. It's such a tough thing to do. I would challenge any of you, as nice defense by Gensler. Contact there, no whistle. Niedermeyer was the one who was going up for the shot. Down the lane goes Cole once again, trying to fill it up. Can't get it to go. Rebound down to Eubanks. Strong rebound that time from Isaiah Eubanks. Gives it back to Cole. Top of the key three, misses. And a rebound down to Aiden Barr. Barr's got Gensler far side. Instead he dribbles down the paint. Now bounces to Gensler. Back to Barr. Barr in the corner. Looks underneath to Wygand. Going to drive to the middle of the paint. Go up with the hook shot and finishes. That's a polished play by Aiden Barr. And Barr is having himself a nice night. Timeout by the Vikings. 30 seconds. We'll keep it right here. 45-34. 11-point lead for the Vikes. Not their largest. They had a 12-point lead a little bit earlier. Ethan Cole's up to 20. I'd challenge any of you if you think you're a good shooter. I would never try this because I know I'm not a good shooter, so there you go. Sprint full speed and then stop and hit the jumper. It was something that Elena Supernan did about as well as I've seen a high school athlete, high school basketball player, boy or girl, certainly here at WLA, do. She did that well last year. Ethan Cole does it exceptionally well as well. So there you go. If you think there's your homework. If you're a good shooter, sprint down the floor as fast as you can. Stop and pop and try to make the jump shot. Here on the far side is Niedermeyer. Down the paint he goes. Oh, and just overshot that one on the opportunity for the layup. Cole tracks down the rebound, gives it to Barr. Barr with his head up down the paint. So he scoops up with the left hand, can't crawl over the front edge of the iron, and a good rebound down to Meidel to clear it. Down the lane goes Shaney, and they're going to get a block from Ethan Cole. Cole was headed the other way for anticipating the travel call. That was not forthcoming. Again, that's such a tight one. It's tough to officiate whether that third step or I suppose the dragging of the pivot foot happens before the contact. When it's that tight, a little bit easier to just whistle the foul. Second on Ethan Cole, no foul trouble for him. Sam Lair remains out of the game. He's got 3 with 10:38 to go. Here is Langeberg. He drives down the left side. Once again, Chop Simmons goes straight up and down and does not foul, but the offensive rebound is collected by Aiden Meidel. Meidel's had a huge impact on this game with his defense and his ability to play point guard. Now he has 4 points as well. Lead still 9 for the Vikings. Aiden Barr into the front court. Behind the back dribble, kicks it top of the key, Noah Walta. Goes to the near side. This is Gensler, who kicks it out to Chop Simmons. Chop's going to go down the paint. Dispatch of a defender and hit it. Chop Simmons. Probably could have gotten an offensive foul there with the off arm, but they did not. Momentum more than anything else is, I guess, what they're going to say. Back onto the floor now is Cole Henke. Did not see much of him. In fact, this is his first action of the second half. He had 3 first-half fouls before having to sit much of that first half. Ethan Cole down the paint. He goes up with a head of steam. He finishes. Ethan Cole's got 22 points. And the Vikings have their largest lead at 13, 49-36. Down the paint goes Meidel, kicks it out to Langeberg. Langeberg shovels it underneath to Henke, who kicks it out. 3-pointer on the way by Niedermeyer. This one misses. Rebound down to guess who? Ethan Cole. And the pass just out ahead of Noah Gensler. Had Noah on either side. Could have went to Walta or Gensler. He chose Noah Gensler. And the pass just a little bit off. Going to go back to what I mentioned just briefly early on. 70 points was what I picked out that was the threshold I picked out in the pregame Omro's 6-0 when they score 70 points. They're just 3-7 when they don't. So you hold them under 70, you at least have a shot against these guys. Here's a three from Meidel, and he hit it. Aiden Meidel's got himself 7 points. And it's back to a 10-point game. 9 minutes to play. Aiden Barr's into the front court. He's played exceptionally well in his return for the Vikings. Ethan Cole's been pretty good, too, as he always is. Down the lane goes Barr, and they're going to get a foul. A bump will be the 5th team foul on the Foxes. Niedermeyer's 3rd personal. Tell you what, it's kind of hard to imagine any Omro Foxes getting into foul trouble. They've gone 11 deep tonight by my count. This 3 is missed. Wide open 3 there for Noah Gensler wouldn't go. Meidel finds Niedermeyer here near side. Back to Meidel. Meidel's hit a couple of shots here in the past couple of minutes. This one's tipped away from Eubanks by Aiden Barr. Barr is up ahead, finishes with the right hand. Nice little move by Aiden Barr to scoot around Isaiah Eubanks, poke the ball away, and then finish strong at the other end. Full timeout for Coach Egan. We're going to take it with them. Try to catch our breath. It's a 12-point lead for the Vikes. Stay with us on WLA TV. Come back from the timeout just a couple of seconds early to get you updated on elsewhere in the Flyway Conference. Springs Laconia 34-27. Springs with the lead over Laconia. Campbell Sport is up by 17 over Lamira. Mayville up by 13 over North Fond du Lac. Those are at half. Those are all scores at the half. So the closest is the Laconia Springs game. The other 2 Flyway leaders, Mayville and Campbellsport, both tied for 2nd in the conference, and both of them taking care of business against teams that they feel like they should probably beat. Thanks again to Coach Supernan for keeping us updated on those. There's a reach-in foul by Aiden Barr, who shows his frustration. Oh, never mind. They're going to give it to Cole. That'll be 3rd on Cole. They're going to lob it into Koth here. Eubanks going to step to the corner. Defended by Aiden Barr. Shaney has it on that left wing. Hands off to Niedermeyer. Down to Koth. Long 2. That one was tipped by Chop Simmons and comes up short. Cole down with the rebound. Barr back to Cole. Cole thought about the 3. And Aiden Barr is going to put the ball on his hip and initiate an offense here for the Vikings. Back to Ethan Cole. That was really mature by Aiden Barr. Oh, behind the back dribble by Aiden Barr. Has the WLA students on their feet. This might, I was going to say that might throw the lid off of it if Ethan Cole would have hit that one. That was a really mature play by Aiden Barr. Put the ball on his hip and really slowed things down. Niedermeyer hits a 3. Brett Niedermeyer's first 3 of the night, and his first points of the night, in fact, for Brett Niedermeyer. 9-point lead for the Vikings. But this, Omro went into a zone here, 1-3-1 zone, very active with it. They're dropping back to make sure someone's on Ethan Cole at all times, but a very mature play by Aiden Barr to just slow things down, make sure his teammates knew Omro was in something else. There's an offensive rebound and a finish from Chop Simmons to get this back to an 11-point game. Niedermeyer far side. Koth has it top of the key. Nice pass underneath to Shaney, who was wide open. Shaney couldn't believe how open he was, and Ryan Shaney's got 7. Back to a 9-point game as these teams trade buckets. Vikes will be content to allow trading of baskets. So if Omro goes on a run, that they'll be a little bit concerned. That's tipped out, should stay here. Ooh, but they're going to turn that one back over to the Foxes. Hey, Chop Simmons touched it last. And Sam Lair returns to the floor. Give Noah Gensler arrest for the Vikes. Tyson, Cole, Barr, Simmons, Lair. Those are the 5 on the floor for the Vikings. Here's Niedermeyer. He's joined by Koth, Hubanks, Shaney, and Yakum. For the Foxes, there's another steal for Jacob Tyson. Down the floor goes Tyson. Count the basket and the foul. Thought that might be on the floor, but they're going to punch it home. And strong finish underneath by Jacob Tyson. Down the lane he went after he stole it. And he finished. Get a substitution here. I think they had a little blood there on Niedermeyer, so Brett Niedermeyer will be replaced by Brandon Langeberg. Back to an 11-point lead for the Vikes. Great defensive play by Jacob Tyson. That one misses short from Jacob. There's a huge free throw disparity tonight. Vikings have shot a ton more free throws. Omro, by my count, unless I missed something, they've shot just 1 free throw tonight. And the foul counts are almost the same. But the Vikings getting to the free throw line where the Foxes have not. Down the lane goes Yakum. Kicks it back out to Shaney. Lair went under a screen, almost allowed Shaney to shoot a 3 there. Yakum goes down the paint. No foul there. That's mishandled by Koth because it was poked out by Chop Simmons. So it'll stay there with the Foxes underneath. 11-point lead for the Vikes. 5.5 minutes to play. Shaney in the corner. Hubanks, skip pass. 3 on the way for Yakum, missed it. Offensive rebound. Yakum followed his own shot, and a timeout from Coach Egan. Just a 30-second timeout, so we'll try to keep it here. I have Ethan Cole with 22, and I have Aiden Barr with 16 for the Vikings. Barr has 11 here in this second half. Played extremely well. 4 for Jacob Tyson. Sam Lair still hasn't scored a point for the Vikings, so for them to be in the position that they're in, Gensler's below his season average. Lair's 13 points below his season average. Hasn't scored tonight. Now the Vikings are still almost 20 points below what they score in a game, so plenty of opportunity here. But you're getting 2 points from Lucas Wigan. That's right around his career or season high, season average. Pardon me. You got Chop Simmons nearly quadrupling his season average so far. Jacob Tyson is right at his season average as well. So plenty of ball game yet to go, and Ethan Cole closing in on the 25 points he would need to retain his current average. Once again, 17th in the state regardless of division. All players is Ethan Cole, and 7th among all players in rebounding. Aiden Barr is 11th in assists per game. Here's Yakum. Feeds it and gets it back. Looks underneath to Hubanks. Now gets it back to Koth. Koth drives on the right side, and this will be free throws for Omro. Good job that time by Chop Simmons to once again go straight up and down. This time I think he maybe came down just a little bit. Yeah, they're just brought the arms down a little bit, I believe. And Koth will go to the free throw line. That's missed from Mason Koth. A little bit of a flat shot there. Koth shot a couple of threes tonight as well. That's his first point. 1 for 3 tonight are the Foxes from the charity stripe. Hard to tell if, certainly hasn't been charitable to them tonight, but they haven't gotten there either. Here's Barr crossing over. Into the paint he goes. Kicks it out to Lair. Lair down the paint. He floats up with the right-handed shot and finishes. Lair's got his first points, a 2-pointer. It's a little unusual. There's Yakum on the far side. Back to a 12-point lead for the Vikes. Here's a triple. That one misses. Tipped around by the Vikings. Cole secures the rebound. Cole into the front court. Sidesteps Shaney, and it's blocked off of Cole last. Oh, no, they're going to get a foul here on Koth. Thought that might have been a clean block, but they're going to say on the push for Mason Koth. That maybe got him with the body. And Ethan Cole will head back to the free throw line for the third time tonight. He's 4 for 4. First free throw is good for Ethan. 23 points. Hasn't hit a 3 here in this second half. Hasn't needed it. He's gotten to his spot in the 2-point variety. And Cole is 6 for 6 tonight from the free throw line. Been a little critical in the past couple of weeks. There's been some poor free throw shooting from both the boys and girls teams. They have certainly changed that narrative in the last couple of games. Both the Vikings boys and girls varsity teams shooting exceptionally well over the last week and a half or so from the free throw line. Here's Eubanks. That one's deep, and a good rebound from Jacob Tyson. Tyson outlets it to Cole, who shovels it to Barr. 4 minutes left in this one. The Vikings have a 14-point lead, which per my notes is the largest lead of the night for the Vikes. Barr gets a little cute with that one, but that's all right. Aiden Barr leads the conference in assists per game, 6.4 assists per game. Now, got to have players like Ethan Cole and Sam Lair and Noah Gensler around you if you're going to have a mark like that for the assist category, that's for sure. Cole blocked. Langeberg underneath. And I think Coach Egan wanted a technical, does not want a technical. I can confirm that. He does not want a technical. I think he wanted a foul on Ethan Cole there. Was not forthcoming. Usually when that tomahawk motion, that chop motion comes, especially over from behind, that's oftentimes whistled a foul. That time it was not. 60-second timeout. We're going to take the last 45 seconds or so with them. Come back. 14-point lead for the Vikes. Finish things up. Coming up next on WLATV. Back here, WLATV, Jordan King, glad to have you along. Vikings with a 14-point lead. It was a slow start, to say the least, for the Vikings, but you felt like the offense was maybe a sleeping giant, and that it was. They went on a 22-6 run. Very similar to what we saw New Holstein do last night, not to reopen painful wounds for the WLA girls team, but that was a run of epic proportions for New Holstein last night. Here's a 3. This one comes up short. Rebound down to Cole. Cole up ahead to Tyson. Jacob Tyson down the lane, up, initiates some contact. Oh, how does that not go? Rolls out, and Tyson will head to the free throw line for a pair. That was an impressive outing last night. If you were, well, there's probably not many New Holstein fans watching tonight, but if you joined us to watch some Omro WLA basketball, be proud of your girls basketball team. First free throw for Jacob Tyson misses off to the right. He's 0 for 2 from the line. Tyson shoots it at a 63.6% clip from the stripe. And he hits the second, so he'll be 1 for 3 tonight, should he not go back to the free throw line. And it's a 15-point lead for the Vikings. Here's Yakum. Near side, Langeberg. Skip pass back to Yakum it's that action that they've tried to get open. The Vikes have done a terrific job defending it. Langeberg, triple, misses just a little bit deep, just a little off tonight for some of the shooters for Omro. And Ethan Cole's into the front court. There's Gensler, far side. Gensler looks to Jacob Tyson. Tyson going to fight through the physicality of Isaiah Hubanks, who still going hard for the Foxes. In fact, Hubanks, I think, has been given license. That was a kick, no whistle. Stays with the Vikings anyway. Hubanks, I think, has been given license to leave Gensler and double when they can. They're trying to double and get traps here. Actually, looks like every off ball, whoever's the first pass away can double, especially when it's Ethan Cole or Aiden Barr. Try to force the ball out of their hands, and they're going to get a foul there. Looked like good defense by Langeberg, but they whistled him for a foul. They say he hit the arm of Ethan Cole, so Cole will go back to the free throw line. Not totally sure about that one. Full hockey substitution here. 5 in, 5 out for Coach Egan with just 2 minutes to play. Rilling, Keenan Ron into the game. I think that's Ron's first appearance. Peyton Schmitz, Cole Henke. First free throw for Ethan Cole, up and good. Cole's up to 25 points. That's his season average. And that'll creep up even a little higher. Ethan Cole is 8 for 8 from the free throw line last night. You know, I kind of jokingly compared Grace Shizzle last night, who is the tremendous scorer who had 30 for the Huskies just 24 hours ago. That was out of bounds, and it'll turn back over to the Vikings, to Ethan Cole. And I said, you know, their games are a little bit different. Shizzle not quite as reliant, you know, she's a little bit more reliant on the three ball. Now she shoots it unbelievably well. One thing both of them had in common last night, Shizzle did not miss a free throw. So far tonight, Ethan Cole has not missed a free throw. He looks like he's going to finish tonight with 26 points as he is subbed out. Get Tyson Lofton, Luke Gillespie in for their first action, along with the couple of other players who've played some spot minutes tonight for the Vikings, and Noah Walta and Cole Wiedmeyer. Down the lane goes Walta. Nice feed to Tyson Lofton. Lofton, I don't think he realized how open he was. Kicks it out to Gillespie. Perhaps they just don't want to shoot. Wiedmeyer goes down the paint. He's fouled, and we'll head to the free throw line, though. Wiedmeyer's first free throw is up and good. And Simmons into the game for the Vikes as well. Second free throw up and good for Cole Wiedmeyer, so he'll get a couple of points here in the scorebook with 1:15 left. Vikes with a 19-point lead. Far side, that is Peyton Schmitz. Top of the key, Cole Henke. I think him getting in foul trouble was a big deal tonight. There's a triple hit by Logan Ross, senior for these Foxes, and Ross hits the three. 64-48. Wiedmeyer has it between the circles. Gillespie near side Walta. Walta's going to drive the paint, hand off to Wiedmeyer, who drives once again, gives it to Tyson Lofton. Skip pass to Gillespie, far side Walta. Chop Simmons between the circles. Under 30 seconds now to play. Simmons will drive it. Try to get the reverse layup. No, he's just going to pull it out. Vikings don't look like they're going to try to score here, and this should just about do it. Now Walta goes down the lane and draws the foul. 16-point lead with 19 seconds left. And give you a Springs update here after the. I'd hate to be talking about a Springs score during WLA free throws. You know, I'd probably get some dirty looks around these parts for that. Give you an update, though, on Springs Laconia. Both free throws good for Noah Walta. I need to add up the Vikings free throw shooting tonight because it has been very, very good. And there has been a huge disparity at the free throw line in terms of what got shot tonight. And I know that's usually something that if it appears in the box score, a lot of people point to. 5 seconds left. Hankey will drive down the paint, get it knocked away. 3 ball on the way. That one misses. And the Vikings have secured an 18-point win, 66-48. If you hold Omro below 70 points, that's been when they've gotten beat. They'll move to 3-8 when that happens. Overall, they will drop to 9-8, nearing that 500 mark overall. Their conference record is now 3-6. For the Vikings, they're 5-3. And just got this from Coach John Supernand, part of the girls' staff here at WLA. 49-37 with 10:18 to play. You can probably switch over to the St. Mary Springs YouTube channel if you would like to catch the end of that. If that result holds, WLA will move ahead of Laconia on record. They'll be 5-3. Laconia will be 4-4 in the Flyway Conference. 49-41 now. So little run here for Laconia. You can switch over to that. I'll give you permission. If you're waiting for me to spew off some numbers, I will do that right now. Cole Wiedmeyer had 2 for the Vikings. 26, as we mentioned, for Ethan Cole as he just continues to pour it on from everywhere on the court. Does not matter. All 3 levels he can score from and the free throw line. 2 points for Noah Walta. Aiden Barr finished with 16 by my count. 2 points for Sam Lair. Vikings, for them to win as decisively as they did without Sam Lair at his very best or something near it, is something that the Vikings have not done very often this season. So it's good to see here tonight. Get some momentum heading into the second half. Jacob Tyson had 5 points for the Vikes tonight. 1 for 3 from the line. Hit a couple of bunnies as well. Got in transition. Gensler scored 7 in the first half. Did not have a point in the second half. Vikings didn't need it. Chop Simmons had 4, and then 2 points for Lucas Weigand. On the other side, Ryan Shaney had 7 for the Foxes, 3 for Matthew Rilling, 2 for Peyton Schmitz, 7 for Brandon Langeberg, all coming in the second half, 7 for Aiden Meidel, 1 point for Mason Koth, 5 points for Caleb Yakum, 3 for Brett Niedermeyer, 2 for Ryan Gerke, 3 for Logan Ross, and 8 for Cole Henke. Henke did not play much tonight. Got in foul trouble early, and then foul trouble early in the second half as well, and he still finished as the leading scorer for the Foxes. It was an offensive struggle tonight for Omro. They scored just 48 points. Vikings did some good things defensively, and the shots did not fall for the Foxes, and all of that adds up to an 18-point loss here to the WLA Vikings. The schedule upcoming here on WLA TV, and we hope you will join us the rest of the week. The WLA girls team back in action. Do get the night off tomorrow. Rest the vocal cords, and then we'll be back at it for a Thursday, Friday back-to-back situation. Both of them, the girls basketball team here at WLA. Thursday back to conference action where the Vikes will start their second round of round-robin play and take on Lamira. Check that. They've started that last week with the win over Mayville. But they'll play Lamira here at WLA, and then on Friday they will take on Kewaskum. That is I'll tell you what, that's a way to bounce back from a disappointing start to the week with their game yesterday against New Holstein. If they can bounce back with a couple of performances, and if they go 2-0 with these 2 games coming up, you will forget about that New Holstein loss in a hurry. Now that's a big task with Kewaskum coming here on Friday, but it's all out there for the Vikings to get some momentum back headed into next week. Want to say thanks for joining us. Appreciate that. The Vikings boys basketball team playing some good basketball. They are now on a 6-game winning streak, 11-4 on the year, 5-3 in the Flyway Conference. And at the end of tonight, they will be no worse than 4th place in the Flyway. Jordan King saying so long. Thanks for joining us. Want to give one more tip of the cap to Coach Supernand for updating us around the Flyway Conference. Laconia and Springs locked in a good one. Head over there if you're still craving some more good high school basketball. Jordan King saying so long. Good night. We'll see you, and talk to you on Thursday right here on WLA TV.